You heard the sound Stugotz made when I said earlier this guy was coming on with us. It was of just extraordinary enthusiasm. Yes, it was a bit lecherous, a little uncomfortable.
I love this guy,
Yeah,
man.
I know, but just sort of wanting because you were happy that he was coming on with us again. One of the greatest six men in the history of the league. He's a lead game analyst for NBC Sports. The coverage begins in October 2025 across NBC and Peacock, and the NBA play-in tournament starts tonight on TNT. I am mad at him. I have not told him this. There is there's a war brewing between athletes and journalists in the media, and he went on with Lou Williams on the Underground Lounge, and he gave up the goods to a teammate and friend and colleague, and didn't give us the story of the time that he lost a car gambling in Chicago. He knows that that's the story that I want. He knows this. And he goes with Lou Williams, and he gives him the great story instead of us. And he's nodding, and he's like, yes, you're right to be furious at me. And hi, it's nice to see you again.
Nice to see you as well, Dan. Thanks for the introduction. I appreciate it.
I want to hear this story because it's such a good story, Jamal. Like the idea of getting to the league and losing a car gambling because things escalate and you don't know what you're doing. It's a funny way for a rookie to lose a car.
Funny way and a way that you never expect, right? But for me, I got in over my head. I was like betting air money, shooting dice. And I'm thinking it's like, okay, it's a friendly competition. These numbers are getting so high. He doesn't really want this money, does he? Oh, he wanted the money. So I said, you know what? Instead of me getting that money as a rookie and not making much at that time, would you take the car? He's like, yeah, I'll take the car. I'm like, oh, here, you can have it. Just let me take my basketball out of it. And that's when I learned not to gamble outside of actual casinos.
But how does that happen? Like it seems to me your entire career that you've seemed savvy.
Yeah. No, but you know what? You can't have a testimony without being tested. So I had to go through it. I wasn't always this savvy, Dan. I had to learn, and that was a school of hard knocks of learning for sure. But coming in the league, 19, 20 years old, you're around all this. It's new to you. You think you can kind of hang and hang around and do things you're doing as a kid. Well, these are grown men, and you're still a kid, and you had to start thinking like a more mature young man instead. And I learned that day and never did it again. So now it's a lesson, I tell young players coming to the league.
But he made sure he got the basketball, Dan, because
I got the basketball
he's a professional scorer.
That's right.
Why.
It's such a good touch to make sure, can I just have the ball? In the East, it's, I think, the only interesting series, maybe I have this wrong, is Knicks Pistons, but it seems like all the scary stuff, the fun stuff, the drama stuff is going to be all out west. We're about to all be very tired with what happens in the NHL and NBA playoffs because the games out west, which is the one that you're most interested in?
Ooh, I think I like the Lakers-Minnesota series just from the standpoint we know what LeBron and Luka bring to the table, but they've never been down this road together with each other. So there'll be moments in the game where I'm sure they're both used to taking it over. It may be moments that kind of overlap. They'll have to figure that stuff out. They're playing well right now, and JJ Redick's done an unbelievable job. Austin Reeves has been balling. I think he gives balance to their team as well. But Minnesota, Ant is just so fearless, and he's such a competitor. And we know what they were doing last year at this time. So for me, I think, sorry about that.
That was
for
good
me,
work.
I think
that was good hands.
I got quick hands.
Good
the hands aren't just
good
they
hands.
just aren't for the handles.
I didn't even notice. I didn't even notice what happened.
That was amazing the way you did that. You are so much better than the vice president of this country.
Oh my gosh, I'm not going there, but I'm interested to see how that series looks because I think Minnesota are competitors, and I just want to see how it looks going down that road together. What about you guys? Who you got?
Who do you have, Dan?
Well, no,
I'm glad you asked that, Jamal.
I think you should have done better with the trophy.
Old heavy-tongued Chris Cody just said to me again in a private show that I'm getting, boy, he said to me, boy, Jamal Crawford really stiff-armed you on that one, Dan. You went in with the vice president dropping, and he's like, nope.
He crossed you over.
Yeah, you really did.
Well,
you have
crossover.
You have crossed over.
Oh, like Steve Smith, he's got a move. A signature move that is named after
tricky,
him.
Yes. Would you look at the Cavs and say what everyone is saying, that nobody's going to believe that will beat Boston?
Yeah, I think most people would say that. I think Boston now, you remember for years, it was like, break up Brown and Tatum. And I was saying years ago, just get them a vet. I think they were young enough. I think they were good enough, and I think they could figure it out. Now their team has figured out their style works. Before it was like, oh, we can get a lot of success. We can, push people. We can make to the Eastern Conference Finals. Now they know their style works, so they can rely on that. If you're the Cavs, you're the underdog, obviously. But if you're going to play Boston, I would try to play them as tight as possible because to me, that's when Boston at times lose their trust. And that can help your team more than anything. But the Cavs are going to have to prove it. They're going to have to prove it. They're young. They had a terrific season. But, that at the Boston's a tough task for anybody, especially when they're shooting the three and moving the ball the way they do.
Okay, but Jamal, that's covering a lot of ground when you say the style works. Like, you must be a giant admirer of the fact that what Boston will do is drown you in threes because of how that team is built, and there's nothing that you can do. That you just got to hope they miss.
That's it. But can they miss for potentially 7 games? That's the thing about it. The way they shoot it, and when they go from good to great, that's almost like adding another star player because the ball is moving so fast that guys want to shoot it, but they're still getting clean looks because that ball has energy. So. Yeah, I'm a believer in what they're doing. I don't like when they just sell out to threes, but they proved it. And I know you're in Miami, so I know they've had some battles. So I know
I want your expertise here because I feel bad last year. I cost people money because I kept saying of the Clippers that team, if healthy, could win a championship, and then they flamed out early because they weren't quite healthy. But these Clippers, Jamal, I think have a chance to be the most surprising champions in the history of the league because it's exactly the kind of team that would beat OKC. And they can lose in the first round.
So what are you telling the people to do then? If you lost them some money, are you going to help them regain it?
I'm looking
at. Are you saying take the Clippers to win the West?
I'm asking.
Yeah, what are you saying right now?
I'm asking your opinion of the Clippers because I've been high on them and I've failed and cost people money, and I just think they're even better this year.
They are better. If you're watching how they're playing, they have a certain belief, a certain moxie, and you're watching Kawhi and you're seeing he's healthy. But I'm seeing like a more fluid Kawhi. The way he's moving is more fluid. I'm watching how he's handling the ball. The moments where you feel like if you're the Clippers, you have the best player on the court no matter who you're playing because he's been through it, he's battle-tested, and the playoffs fit and suit his game. But I'm a big believer in the Thunder. I really am. Just the way they played. They brought like a college style of play and system and winning to the NBA, to the pros. You watch how, I know everybody talks about their interviews, but if you watch how they're playing, they know Shea's the guy, but they have other guys that they allow to be the guy. He doesn't take away from other people. And then I think Coach Dagnall is a star on the sideline. So this is going to be a fun playoffs. And I don't think it's going to go the whole playoffs series in every series. I don't think it'll go like most thinks it will. There'll be some surprises.
Jeremy gave me private show because he's getting tased the entire time. I got all sorts of facts spit out at me as to how wrong I was because I excluded Bucks Pacers from my analysis, and I don't think he's wrong because the Pacers are really good.
Yeah, Dan, you mentioned on the show yesterday how good the Pacers have been, and I think it's gone under the radar because they made a run last year, and when they started slow, everybody sort of wrote them off. But in 2024, so like before the turn of the new year, they were 16-18. They were 10th in offense, 23rd in defense. But since then, they're 34. Don't tase me. 34-13. Fourth best record in the league behind OKC, Cleveland, and Boston, top 10 in both offensive and defensive rating. Jamal, do you think there's a chance that Indiana can be the one that kind of messes this whole thing up for everyone in the East?
There's a chance, but that they love to play with the pace. They love to play up and down, and the playoffs is just not sustainable to do it, or at least teams historically have not kept that same pace. So when the game slows down, where do they go? I'm not saying they can't score and they can't generate baskets, but it's just a lot tougher to do. I'm not sure there'll be the surprise in the East. I think that could be a good matchup, depending on health and how everybody's feeling in Milwaukee and where they're at. But that could be a good matchup, but I don't have them going much further than after the first round if they can pull that off.
So give us something controversial that you think about about who's going to beat whom. Like you're not exactly a hot take artist, but do you have an opinion that not a lot of people have about what we're about to see?
Dan, you know what? I don't. You came in with you came in with the hot take with me losing the Mercedes, the first question. I mean, you can't get much more controversial than that. But I would say basketball wise, all right, you want one? I'll give you one. I'll say Minnesota beats the Lakers.
Woo!
Wow.
Thank you. That was hard for you. It seemed like it was
he
hard.
forced his
tough.
hand. I mean,
It was tough.
Okay, and this is
Yeah, you did. You twisted my arm. You did twist my arm on that.
and this is just about your simple belief that this is Anthony Edwards' league to take over from Luka and LeBron.
I just think his competitive. It will be his league one day, or at least one of the faces of the league. I just think his competitiveness, along with them right now. I think he wants to be a spoiler. Everybody's talking about the Lakers. Everybody's talking about, they can make this run. I'm just going to throw a shot in the dark and see what sticks, but I'll say Minnesota. What is yours, Dan? I need you to pick one. Who do you have that nobody has?
Okay, thank you. You threw it back
Dan, you have
on
the
me.
heat over the
Yeah,
Cavs, right?
and you're
Heat over the
playing
Cavs?
with the table right now.
Yeah, well, you put
A
me on the
little nervous
spot.
there.
No,
I want to see where you're going with this.
I am. So I'm going to
I'm going to take Jamal's one step further and say the Timberwolves are going to make it to the NBA Finals. How about that?
Whoa.
Okay, see,
Whoa.
yes, it means nothing.
Oh, God. Of course
But
it
it's
does.
brave,
Yes,
but
yes.
it's brave.
Yes.
And I like the Clippers to beat the Nuggets, but that's not controversial. It's just a 5 over a
won 8
4.
straight.
That stinks.
Dan, maybe you can't evaluate the Cleveland Cavs, but what are your thoughts on Chris Cody's Cavs?
Yeah, thank you. Thick, freckled, hairy. I have to do better than that, though.
It's a good flex,
I-
though.
Yeah.
Okay,
Try to buy you
can I
time.
Can I
Got
knock
a
out?
Band-Aid on his hand?
Can I
Got
knock
it.
out? Can I knock out the Rockets in the first round, even not knowing? Not
I
knowing
think
who
most
they're
people
gonna
expect
play?
that, though. They do.
No matter who they get in the play-in.
No matter who. That's right.
Right.
No matter who.
Whether
they
it's
get,
Golden State or Memphis, no matter who it is,
no
they're going to go
matter-
ahead and beat the
They're done.
2-seed Rockets.
Can I do that or no?
No,
I
you
can't
can't
really
do
do
that.
that.
No.
You can't do that, Dan.
Okay.
It's like picking a run from the play-in teams in March Madness as well. If you had picked Carolina as an 11,
Put Golden State in the finals. Do something like that. Put Memphis in the Western Conference Finals. I mean, give us something.
Okay, I know.
Give us something, Dan.
I really feel so pressurized.
Put
right
the Knicks
now.
there. I dare you.
Well, all right. I'll take the Knicks out in the first round. I'll take the Knicks out in the first round. I'll have Detroit beat them.
Wow. Thought you were going the other way with that.
No, what? Making them advance is the 3?
To
like
the
that?
finals, yeah.
Oh, no. I'm going the other way on that one. And I'm rooting for that, right? Like that's I don't know. Do you hate anybody?
No, not at all.
Not
at all.
You've never played against there's not a city or team that you have a dislike for.
Not one. No. I was good there, but Dan, you're not spinning this on me back to me again. Like you picked the Knicks to lose, stick with it, and we'll
Okay,
all
but
just
you
go with that.
you cornered me. It was
Well,
unpleasant.
you cornered him. I mean,
I know, but
You
that's
cornered me.
Yeah, but he comes in here to be cornered. That's the whole transaction.
No, I came here to have a conversation, and we're having a great conversation right now.
Yeah.
That's sweet. It really is.
Aw,
Look
that's
at
great energy.
Just
I
a
love
was
Jamal.
just a warm moment.
Jamal, if invited to go to space, would you take the invitation?
No, I don't even like flying across the country. I'm not going to space. I'm sorry. Are you going to space?
I would not. Stugotz.
I would go to space, I think. Yeah.
We were talking before about whether you'd least
Go every night.
prefer to go to space or to go in the submersible underwater.
So look, I hate flying. I can't swim. I'm gone either way. Like this is how long is that trip to space? Like how long?
It's quick.
does it take to
11
get up there?
minutes.
It's
Yeah,
quick.
it's a cup of
quick.
coffee.
It's 11 minutes. Yeah, I don't. Here, do you want to see Gail King? She seemed kind of scared, and I would be too.
Yeah,
Like,
let's see Gail.
I would be terrified if I was about to go up and into space.
Let's see Gail. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she's scared here because I would think she's scared, either scared or miserable.
You sure?
No? What, you think she's just unhappy?
I don't know. I can't make that look right there. I think she's like, all right, well, let's do it. Let's just. I don't know where she's at with it.
No,
Is
that
This
look
might
to
as
me.
well
To
happen.
me, it's like, what am I doing?
This
well,
was
she
fun.
got the name suit on the suit. I don't know. She was ready for this.
This felt like a
She
good
doesn't
idea
look ready,
leading up to it.
Jamal, I think that she doesn't look ready for this. Look at what's happening here with this.
Yeah, you know what? The more I look at it, I think she's looking at what if I don't make it back?
Exactly.
That's
Yes,
what- I don't make it back
yes,
space.
that is
Yeah.
exactly what's happening there. You have to choose between the two, though. I understand that you don't want to do either. I was saying that the submersible is much more mortifying to me, but it's just because of like it was that tiny little thing that exploded that we we thought for a minute that somebody was tinging in the depths of the sea trying to get out of a tiny contraption, losing air. But it just instantaneously exploded.
How quick do I get back from space? Is that 11 minutes too?
It's well, I think you float
The entire
down.
thing is 11 minutes. I
Round
believe.
trip, yes.
Yeah, it's 11.
I'll do that. I'll just close my eyes the whole time and hope everything works out. Yeah, I'm going to space.
Jamal, good seeing you. Thank you for being on with us. Appreciate the time, sir.
You as well. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
Is today the anniversary of the Titanic sinking? I believe it is.
Too soon?
No. What, 190 years? No, 110 years.
Chris, how are the takes back there? People have been calling 305-486-GOTS. 305-486-GOTS. I'm surprised GOTS hasn't been calling 305-486-GOTS.
I've had the time, that's for sure.
We have 4689 is the way that it goes. Boost has been a very good sponsor, but I have not thought that they should be a proud sponsor of this segment because I've been disappointed for a while with our callers and the competition between our callers. But they have improved recently.
Yes, and everyone disagrees with you. I think they've been great recently. It's the Boost Mobile boldest take from the weekend. It's presented by Boost Mobile, the newest 5G network in the country. It's our listeners with their chance to shine. We do a lot of takes around here. We give the audience a chance to give us their takes, and let's see what they got for us this week.
Hey guys, it's Scott on a mobile car phone. My hot take is that Paul Skeens and Livy Dunn in a doubles tennis match versus only Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis wins that every day of the week. I'll hang up and listen.
There is something seriously wrong with grown men wanting high fives from golfers in between holes.
We've all seen him run. Stop calling Tom Brady the greatest athlete ever. What up, guys? This is Cody from Tennessee. Look like a husky, Sergio Garcia. I've got a limited fake Billy Ray Cyrus for you. Whose balls are juiced?
Hey, this is Bull in a big truck. My hot take is that the worst hot dog you ever had at a ballpark is still better than the best nachos you ever had at a ballpark.
Limited fake Slim Shady. Natties, everybody want to talk. They got something to say, but if it comes out when they move their lips, it's a bunch of gibberish.
This is Liam from Fort Wayne. I'd just like to say that Girl Scout cookies and Eric Clapton are basically the same. They're both adequate, perfectly fine, but people pretend they're a lot better than they really are.
Southwest Florida P again, and my bold take is Denzel is overrated as an actor. He's just playing the same guy with different occupations. What if Denzel was a football coach? What if Denzel was an undercover cop? What if Denzel was a hitman?
So much to chew on there.
Yeah. Speaking of cocaine.
Paul from a big truck.
Why do adults want high fives from golfers?
Put it on the poll, please, Juju, at LeBatard Show. Why do adults?
I love that. I love going to golfing events. You know what? It's the simple pleasures in life. Just going out there, drinking your hand, wearing shorts, going woo after a drive.
Rory!
It's just one of those things that you do, right? You just do it, and you never think about it.
Like if I see the rope there and Rory's coming, I'm walking over there.
You got like a
sticking the hand out.
You're just chilling with your drink, and you got like an open gate, and you're just walking, and you're going woo! It's the best in your shorts.
So was it Anthony Davis versus Livy Dunn and Paul Skeens?
Yeah, does he get 2 rackets, or is it just him on his own? Like, can he hit with both hands?
I think one racket. It'd be confusing.
Just one racket
for 2.
Why would he have 2, Jeremy?
I don't know, just for the extra reach. If you're playing 2-on-1, you get him an extra racket.
I mean, they have 2. Why not?
Yeah,
if he
they
wants
have 2
to, he should
rackets.
have the option
He should
of
get
having
2
two.
rackets.
I feel
If
like
he
you're
wants it.
picturing like an octopus, though. Not like
That's
a human
Anthony Davis,
man.
yeah. That's
I think I'd
pretty
be
much it.
worse at tennis with 2 rackets.
Most people would be.
Yeah, all right. You know what? I take it back. You should have tased me when I asked the question.
Just pastels, patterned shirt, a dad cap.
Which hole you guys want to go
Basically
to?
what you're wearing now.
You guys want to go to 9 or 12? Which way you guys want to go?
We following the pack? We following the pack?
Oh, I forgot to put on sunscreen.
I gotta take a piss.
Hovland's about to be at 14.
Oh, Hovland. He crushes it.
Is the worst hot dog at a ballpark?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a great take.
Than
No
the
doubt.
Best nachos. I thought.
Best take ever. The worst nachos.
I
Not
thought.
the best nachos. Or was it the best nachos?
No, I think he said worst hot dog better than best nachos.
He's saying the worst hot dog will be better.
Is better than the best nachos.
The best ballpark.
So
nachos.
always get the hot dog.
I'm with this guy. Nachos at ballparks and stadiums,
Awful.
overrated.
Way overrated.
But wait, Jessica, are you okay? I'm pretty sure that what he was saying is that the worst hot dog at a ballpark is better than the best nachos at a ballpark.
He's correct. Yes.
You want us to play it back?
No.
I want to hear
the whole thing.
I want to hear the Kermit the Frog guy from a few weeks ago hit on me again.
You want to play the whole thing back again? Both things? Chris Cody says
Not doing
no.
that.
Old Heavy Tongue says no. Heavy Tongue is out on that.
It's a bad decision.
Just trying to get clarity on it. I mean,
I thought that ballparks, keeping up with the times, baseball's done a really good job, Stugotz, of being ahead in the media space, and ballpark amenities has been something over the last 10 years that the best ballparks do it absolutely right. Like, those are gourmet experiences, and you're having a night out with the family at a ballpark in a different way. I thought the nachos had been upgraded. It was not any longer the chips and 3 things from the Cheese Whiz. Like, I thought...
my nachos at the Orange Bowl were upgraded. There was a third ingredient. It was plastic from something just in my nachos.
But even these upgraded nachos, they get soggy in like 3 minutes. It's like you have like 4 minutes.
It's not something to get in a game.
You have 4 minutes of good nachos.
Totally with you.
This is what I'm arguing, and I say this not knowing because it's been a minute since I had nachos at the ballpark. However, I would make the argument that at least in what they did in San Francisco once upon a time with their meals, that there are culinary experiences in the major leagues that we might have some ignorance about, because I think somebody might now be making nachos. More than one group I think there are gourmet ballparks that take great pride in their food, and that the nachos somewhere are a famous thing that everyone likes to have. But I'm guessing it's not based on any information.
We're just saying it's not good ballpark food. You have to make nachos with chips, and chips get soggy when they're outside. It's not something I would get at a game. It's something, nachos for me have to be ordered in the restaurant and eaten immediately. Like, the second they're ready, that's when you eat them. There are certain things, Dan, you don't get to go. Nachos, potato skins, those things have to be eaten at the restaurant, at the point of execution. I'm taking this very seriously.
You're cooking right now. They don't get soggy because they're outside. They get soggy because of the cheese. Yeah. You said the chips get soggy for being outside.
I mean,
you implied it
roof
was
open, Marlin Stadium, July. Go ahead.
Condensation.
Yeah.
Condensation. If you just leave chips outside, like, man,
it's not a good thing to eat outside. I'm telling you guys. Same with potato skins. I mean,
you guys want to hear Kermit the Frog hitting on Jess?
I thought you said you weren't going to do that. Heavy Tongue's got bad judgment today.
Kermit the Frog here, calling for Jessica. Hey now, call me.
Glad we did that.
They need to do better. Okay,
I liked it.
Miranda?
Did he leave his number?
Why? Okay, look. I don't know why you insist, Chris Cody, on making your mark in the world by doing a limited fake Steve from Sex and the City. I don't know why you've decided that this is the lane in media that you're going to chase Peter Schrager with.
Miranda?
Why do you keep lashing us with these Steve impersonations from Sex and the City?
Miranda?
That's been living in my head since I heard it.
For the rest of time, when someone says to me, Sex in the City, I'll think of
Miranda?
Just in the shower, shampooing my hair. Out of nowhere, I'll just go, Miranda?
It was a bit overacted.
Miranda?
Taylor and I have been trying to put together like a video where we put all of the Sex and the City characters into the tier maker like we did for The Lord of the Rings, just for no reason, just because. I think because he actually started watching Sex and the City for the first time a few months ago. So I was like, oh, I'll rewatch a few episodes. But then I realized that when I was ranking the characters, they all were in just a tier called the worst people ever. And that's not fun, because if you put them all in the same tier, it kind of defeats the purpose.
Miranda?
But I hate all of them.
Chris, can we get that sound again of you having again, I will say, the heavy hockey tongue from one night before the playoffs have started?
He would, but he coon.
Okay, the last
He would, but he.
The last 3 years, Chris, do you know what hockey has done to your father, to this show?
I'm scared of it.
It's made his dad a legend.
Right. Listen to me, okay? I don't think this show can handle what the next 2 months bring.
No.
I don't. We've got reinforcements. We're stronger than we've ever been. It's too much game, too much action, and Chris has a heavy tongue, and we haven't even started yet. And I thought his father was going to die writing columns on Deadline, running back and forth between championship games, this traffic, and getting to this hotel so that the end of his career can be marked by dying at a computer because he's got a belly button flap that needs surgery, and he's coughing every 6 minutes.
When you're talking about how busy things are you talking about the Marlins? Red hot, over 500.
I was watching baseball late last night. I'm like, Padres. I like the Padres. They were so good. They were so
good.
They were so close to beating the Dodgers last year. They hate each other. That can be such a good series if they knock them off one time. Like, it'll be 3 or 4 fun years of wait. The Padres are going to be actually. They were so close.
They're 14-3. I mean, I took the Dodgers last night. There's nothing like betting a late night baseball game.
I am a little concerned what the hockey playoffs in particular are going to do to my body again. But now I'm approaching it differently because, consecutive cup runs, one of them being unexpected as the final seed there.
Right.
I now, look, those 2 years, I didn't know if I was ever going to be there again. It had been a while.
Yep.
Certainly. But now I think I'm approaching this. I put myself and my liver basically on the long-term IR for an entire month, understanding I need to test my mind, body.
You've been training for this.
Oh, yeah. Testing my mind, body, and spirit. And
testing our eyes
it.
with that shirt.
Isn't the way
I wasn't wearing it.
Isn't the way
it's
hockey?
A bad day to go viral.
The way hockey works, though, the Panthers are going to lose this first round, right?
Well,
that's just the way hockey works.
I think the Panthers have arrived at a place where you want to arrive as a team, right? They don't care about seeding.
No, I know. That's the thing in hockey when it's like, oh, the Panthers are going to show up. I don't know. I'm just a little nervous with how everyone is assuming now that the Panthers are going to win.
I wanted I didn't talk to Roy about this yesterday, and I wanted to because I don't happen to think that Washington is just going to get strangled by everybody because it's now playoff hockey, but maybe I have this wrong. I do have to stop, though, for a moment. It's gone unsaid for too long in this program. That shirt, Mike.
Yeah. I wish I wasn't wearing that shirt. Look, I decided to go at Ryan Clark on the one day of the calendar year where I'm dressed more ridiculously than him.
Can we talk about how it's like performance material?
Take my eyes, not the shirt.
Yeah,
finally, a costume. Finally, somebody wears a costume and goes viral.
I was feeling pretty good about myself. And then I saw that photo, and I just knew it was coming my way.
John Amici, thank you for all your good work.
I shouldn't have been so goddamn good on that clip. Why'd you have to run up the score? Why'd you have to be so good?
I like that Dan hired John Amici to try to get us to our costumes.
It's great. It's paying dividends already. Literal dividends. Mike knew. Look, can I go back for a second? Okay. When I'm talking about in the tapestry of what it is has been 20 years, I'm telling you out loud that I'm leaking confidence. And my executive producer with a heavy tongue is doing the greatest show I've ever heard in only my ear. And I'm headed into a playoff run that has battered his family and ours.
Mm-hmm. I have a montage of you using the word understand as a crutch.
Is it indeed 27, 28 years? Because both of those shows, I don't think that people understand. And you have to understand. Now, I understand a lot of people lie about their height and weight. Do you understand how rare it is to get to the postseason? I simply don't understand. Okay, so I misunderstood what it is that you were telling me.
It's tricky.
I'm just going to make such a dumb decision that I make everyone think it's conspiracy because they don't understand why I made that decision. This is one of the things that I don't think people understand about television. Any of us can understand it, but to be professional is to not be that. You do understand, right?
That was all from yesterday's show.
Get out of here.
That's why I'm leaking confidence.
Which hole does it leak out of? Just out of curiosity. Is this a biohazard? Should we call paramedics?
It's been a lot of talking for 4 years, and now we're headed into the playoffs, and I'm not built for it. I got to be honest.
Miranda?
I'm not being led by that. I'm not. Here's what I'm telling you, America, and I'm sorry. Rarely is someone in my position this vulnerable. I can't handle what's coming this way. I'm just telling you, I'm too late in life.
It's just the hockey playoffs.
No, it's not just the hockey playoffs. It's the hockey playoffs and the basketball playoffs, and it's too much.
Yeah.
It's snorting. You told me earlier in the show, no, if you give me an hour, I can't get cocaine. But it's hockey playoffs, and they're the defending champions.
Right.
And it's insane. It's always insane. Every year that we haven't talked hockey around here because we didn't have the champions or something that was obviously championship good after 30 years of, God, it's never good except that 1 year. Never any good. No playoff wins, nothing. We never get to enjoy the hockey playoffs in South Florida.
So now we have it, and we're complaining about it.
I'm not complaining about it. I'm sorry if it sounds like a complaint. What I said was, I'm sorry, America. I'm not built for this. It's too much. It's too much to have the hockey playoffs be better than the basketball playoffs, as they are every single year, and the local team can beat anybody. But there are 10 teams that can beat anybody.
They're not going to have home ice this year. So that's going to be a change of pace. They're probably going to open up with Tampa Bay here on the road, and it's going to be a more difficult March for the Florida Panthers than it was last season. But, again, they've done this from an 8 seed, and they've done it from the 1 seed. They approached March like they were saving their bodies and going to play this healthy game, and knowing that they'd already reached mountaintop. Veteran-savvy teams tend to do that. This is still a young core that should be in this conversation and give our livers plenty of a workout over the next 5 years or so. This is a core that was put together young and designed for this long run. But it does have Brad Marchand on the team, and that is a huge point against.
Chris, are you worried about this with Mike? Because I don't like the position that he's put himself in. He's gotten very good over the years of sort of being obnoxious fan. Like, Mike likes sort of the playful Heat Twitter for 15 years. Didn't he claim he invented Heat Twitter?
No, I definitely did.
Yeah, he did.
I
Actually
did. Culture
did.
was
Yeah.
a word that I also created.
Give him his credit where it's due. That's all Mike.
So Mike
facsimiles.
likes
Poor ones.
sort of fighting the internet on these certain sports pages.
He likes fighting. Yeah.
Well, but also with great arrogance sometimes, and he brought it today straight at Ryan Clark.
I regret that because he's very online, and I wore this shirt.
Yeah.
So I've got a lapel pin joke, and that's all I got. And so, you know what? I'm just going to go away for a couple of days. Today was not a great day for me.
Right.
It was just too much.
But it was a great day. Great
a
day,
little
bad
respite.
shirt. Yeah.
Terrible shirt.
Yeah.
Well, so what happened? Take me through what
You
the
know,
thing.
I'd lost some weight. Saw this shirt hanging up there for the last few months. I'm like, let me try old girl on. See if I still got it. Then I looked at myself in the mirror. I'm like, it's debatable whether you had it at all, Mike. But whatever, the shirt's on now, and we already steamed it. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
You're feeling better about your body these days, and that probably is you like the fit of that, but then you buttoned it up all the way to the top.
Well, I didn't like the way that it looked open because it's not a quality shirt. This was an IG
So
shirt.
it hangs a bit?
It's an IG shirt.
Can I see it open?
Yeah, look.
Yeah, go ahead.
The classic. It's your classic IG shirt.
Classic
where you get
IG shirt.
You get like 7 for the price of 1, and like maybe 4 of them are good.
Matching
Right,
pants.
The buttons are not in the
No,
right
I don't have
places.
the matching pants, but you see how the pattern's done on the inside of the shirt? That always drives
That's
me
a $12 shirt.
crazy. Although on TV, I should have had it buttoned open.
Right.
Do you dare go at Ryan Clark or anyone else again while also opening yet more shirt to reveal your pasties?
I'm not wearing that. I'm not wearing the pasties with this shirt. This one's actually, it's good. It's good for.
The pepperoni nipples haven't been out in a while.
No. I mean, you lose a little weight and the nipples look better.
Is that true? Put it on the poll at LeBatard Show. Do you lose a little weight and the nipples look better?
I think generally speaking, right? We feel safe with that. That's a good take.
Okay.
Not a good take.
Vote number 1. Juju from Mike says that's a good take. But
What do you guys do with the shirts? Because like the opposite of what Mike's doing. You throw on a shirt for the first time in a while. You're like, okay, this is snugger than I'd want it to be. I have like a shelf in my closet that they just go. Like, all right, that's where you're going. See you in a couple months.
They stay there forever?
Take you for a walk in a couple months.
Chris, I'm glad that you mentioned that because I did have a bunch of shirts in my closet that I'm like, I usually would give this away. but I'm gonna get skinny again, and I'm gonna wear that shirt.
They're motivators.
I have a few shirts that are like, someday I'll get back in you.
Yeah.
Are they not a little more depressing than motivating, though? Because every time I look at the shirts that I have where I'm like, oh, I'm going to get back into that someday, the more time that passes without getting back into it, the more I realize it's not going to happen.
There's a sadness in how many shirts are getting into that
Yeah,
pile.
exactly.
So many.
Like it started
Shelf
with
is
3.
getting heavy.
So many. I spent so much money on double XLs too, and it's just like
You made the leap.
But now I'm looking back at the other side of the closet, and I'm like, don't worry, I'll get back to you.
You made
just a
the
matter
leap.
of time.
You made the leap.
It's a tough leap. I mean, it is.
You know, do you guys realize?
I had the greatest feeling ever. I hosted a gala over the weekend, and that wasn't the great feeling. It's just I was just chilling. It was a black tie event, right? And I know I had one tux, and I was just sitting back. I'm like, I know I fit in that tux. I'm not gonna put that tux on till Saturday. Normally, anytime someone dies, I'm like, no. Not because they're dead, but because I have to fit into a suit. I gotta play this game.
Folks, when it comes to competition, Boost Mobile and DraftKings have you covered all year. Compete for free for a share of $4,000 in multi-sport prediction contests throughout 2025. Get in on the action now and play for free for a total of $270,000 thanks to Boost Mobile. Eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See DraftKings.com/BoostMobile for details.
It's the postgame show with Juju. Juju has arrived. Juju, would you go to space?
Yeah, I would go to space. Put me on a rocket. Get me out of here. I feel like I've seen all Earth has to offer.
I would be Gayle King, though. I feel like I would be like months out, I'm in. I want to go, but day of, I'm like that with flights. Do you guys get nervous? Like the day of a flight, I always just have this, like I am Gayle King. Like when I'm walking into to board the plane, I have a little of this in me, this energy of just a little nervous.
That's why you look around and you find everyone that guarantees you in your head that you're not going to crash.
Right, I've done that. This guy's not dying today. This guy looks good.
Bezos' fiance is a good point. That's a good one on this one.
Bezos' fiance is there. You like your chances a little bit more. I used to be, it's a very recent thing, but I had a bad fear of turbulence because I had a plane that got struck by lightning, and then I had a nightmare trip where people were hitting the roof of the airplane. And since then, when I flew back with the University of Miami from Europe, there were people that were wearing seatbelts that their legs were in it. It was bad. It was real bad. So after that, anytime I felt turbulence, I guess I would have PTSD. But then the world got so awful that anytime I experienced turbulence, now I'm like, oh yes, sweet God, please take me. And it's done wonders for it. I swear to God, that's been the case.
Juju, what were your thoughts about the WNBA draft last night? We didn't talk too much about any of the selections. I personally, we all knew Paige Beckers was going to go first overall, but I personally enjoyed seeing all her new Dallas teammates tweeting at how excited they were to have her there. What were some of your key takeaways?
Hell yeah, I was surprised that the Valkyrie took Double J from Slovenia or wherever she's from. That was a shocker.
Joyce, I think, is her last name.
Yeah, Joyce Justice. So salute to sis. Sorry for butchering your name, but yeah, man, it was a lot of shockers. I can't believe that it took a girl from NC State, not Sanaya.
Isaiah James.
Isaiah James. I feel like Dallas got a steal by getting her at like 12. I think it was a lot of steals. Salute to the Atlanta Dream. We got Pow in the building. You dig? I thought we were going to take Fagan, but hey, Pow is good enough for me. You dig it? Because we got a lot going on in Atlanta right now. Like BG, Brianna Jones, Walker Kimbrough. I love the girls.
Juju, how'd we do today?
You did fantastic. You feel me? I like to submit the Washington Capitol loss. Can that be a tax exemption?
I like that.
You did. I know.
Well
you
done.
can thumbs down.
Well
you can
done.
tell
No,
me
that's
to get
good.
Out of here. Hell yeah. Also, Sierra Deuce, the real Sierra Deuce, said the green jacket is the greatest trophy because you can wear it. You dig? You know?
No. It is both here and there. I think that actually counts as a trophy because I've been told, Chris,
there is a trophy.
There is a trophy for that. No one knows what it looks like.
It's just the green jacket.
No, I had to ask Chris if there's a trophy because what you get is that green jacket. And here in the United States, we're all about wearing trophies, getting a ring. We end discussions with rings, but actual formal wear, besides jewelry as a trophy, I can get with.
Yeah,
that.
like Rory here. There's a picture of Rory. He's holding it. It looks like Butler Cabin of some sort. The trophy. It's just a little small. Yeah, like no, I've never seen this trophy.
Never
before.
in my life did I know that the trophy was anything but that green jacket.
Hell yeah. And while y'all was talking about the Miami Heat, you know, my brother Jeremy can get out on a tangent here and there, but it made me think, who are my most hated teams of all times, the NBA teams of all times? So I've got my most hated NBA teams just from now through history. The number 5, the Milwaukee Bucks. Get Michael Redd, Vin Baker, the big dog, get them out of here, no matter what era. Giannis as well. Get them out of here. Number 4, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Salute to my brothers and sisters in Cleveland, but Anderson Varejao, get out of my life. Like, I don't want Craig Elo and Donovan Mitchell. I'm not playing Time Wars. Get them out of here. Number 3, the Toronto Raptors. Jose Calderon, take a walk, sir. You can that championship does not count in my record book either. KD got hurt, Klay Thompson got hurt. It doesn't count in my record book at all.
This is just like nostalgia. Like, say an old team and then like just random players that they had. I love
the Toronto Raptors being on anyone's top 5 most hated teams is a big upset for me. So I love that they're there.
Number 2, the Indiana Pacers. Roy Hibbert, you get on the submersible with Reggie Miller and Pascal Siakam. Arrivederci. Katy Perry, join them.
TJ McConnell.
I mean, Dark Horse was inescapable.
And number 1 of all time, most hated NBA team, your Utah Jazz.
Strong.
Larry Marketing could save Earth from a meteor while also simultaneously getting rid of world hunger, and I still wouldn't root for the Jazz. Get them out of here. AK-47, I see you.
I am shocked you don't have the Heat on your list.
Nah, I like you guys.
We like you too.
Got any polls
Also,
today, Juju? Go on.
Yeah, I got some polls. Also, salute to the Detroit Pistons. They have restricted fans from buying tickets to their home games versus the Knicks unless they live in Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, or Ontario, Canada. Take that, Knicks fans. And now for the polls.
Let's do it.
As I scroll vigorously.
Love a good panic scroll, like when Dan's asking for something. It's like, yep, Dan, I'm just filling time here.
All right, look at the old Pistons news.
Fat white face.
Does traveling at great height make people more emotional? 77% of the audience says yes, it does.
Let's do.
Did you know that the national championship trophy has 2 pieces? 80% of the audience says no, they did not. Can you fire someone during an 8-game winning streak? 66% of the audience says no, you cannot.
Bad move.
Hands off. Does Franz Wagner sound like a movie villain?
90%.
95% of the audience says yes, it does.
What were those 5% doing?
Right. I think they're from Russia, Mother Russia. Do you have any interest at all in going underwater in a submarine? 87% of the audience says no, they do not. And the last poll, nope, we got 2 more polls. Why do adults want high fives from golfers between holes?
This is big.
57% of the audience says yes. I didn't know what to do there. Do you lose a little weight and the nipples get better? 75% of the audience says yes, they do.
It's a good show.
And those are your polls.
It was a good show.
Yeah, look at us. Way to go, us.
Good show. Bad shirt.
Yes, sir.
Showing.
Oh, the shirt. Thanks, Juju.